Welcome back, everyone, to another Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus breakdown. So, during the Super Bowl, we got a lot of new shots with during the Super Bowl, we got lots of new shots for this upcoming series, and we have confirmation that it is coming on March 19th. So, get ready, and that'll be it. And they are actually going to air weekly, just like WandaVision. So, I do want to get to that. But yeah, um, so let's just go over all the shots and let's see what they. So starting off the way how this thing opens, they just go like that, and then I think the reason why I think Sam and Bucky are at like some sort of counseling meeting, and they're trying to get along, but it does end pretty funny. Then we see this shot of an airplane. I'm pretty sure that this airplane later on has a fight scene in it, so I'll get to that later, but not much to go here. Then this is also where they're about to jump out. They're about to jump. I feel like that like this is gonna be episode 1 or 2 because this doesn't really. But I don't know though. So we've already seen this before, so not much to go over. You have the Marvel Studios title. Then now this city is actually something I missed in my last breakdown. I will link that in the at the end of the video if you want to see that. So this city is Madripoor, which is a city that is located by like Southeast Asia. Wait, no, yeah, Southeast Asia by countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand and China, pretty much. And it has a lot to do with the X-Men in the comics, which the reason why I bring this up is because in WandaVision, spoiler alert, by the way, we just got Evan Peters Quicksilver, not the Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver from Age of Ultron. So this has a lot to do with the X-Men in the comics, especially Wolverine, so I'm not sure, but this might be hinting at that. So we see three people walking. Now, I feel like that one of these people is either Zemo or maybe Sharon Carter, because later on we do see her in the trailer, because we see Bucky right here, and then so we see Bucky right here, and I think that's Sam, and that's probably Zemo or Sharon, but I'm not sure though. But it looks more like Zemo than Sharon. But even though that they probably have a lot of bad blood between them, what's there actually might be a shared goal in between them. Because Zemo says in the trailer that superheroes cannot be allowed to exist. Like, let me replay that for you. So he says superheroes cannot be allowed to exist. So pretty much what he's what he's saying is that superheroes cannot be allowed to exist. Now, what I think what could be happening is Thunderbolt Ross was Thunderbolt Ross might actually want somebody. He might actually try to make another Captain America, probably out of John Walker. And now John Walker is supposed to be like one of those people who's quick to show no mercy, and he's basically one of those people who just follows orders and without really questioning them, which is kind of the opposite of Captain America. So obviously they're at odds. So now I'm pretty sure that this shot is supposed to be a grave for Sokovia, because you have to remember this is probably happening right after Endgame, so everybody probably got reunited with their loved ones and their friends. But Zemo's remains dead, just like Monica, because she had to lose her mother during the blip. Then I love this shot because now we know for sure that Zemo's purple mask will be involved. Now there was set photos and like other concept art that we saw, but still though, this was pretty amazing. This was amazing. So we have Zemo's purple mask, and it looks like he is on some sort of truck. It looks like he's on some sort of like truck, which later on we do see a chase scene, but yeah. And he says, "I have no intention to leave my work unfinished." So basically, what he means by that is what he means by I have no intention. No, remember Zemo was in Civil War, so obviously he's probably going to try continuing his plan, even though he kind of succeeded. Now these people are another thing I missed in my trailer breakdown. Now this is probably in the same truck that Zemo was standing on. But anyway, so these people are called the Flag Smashers, which in the comics, Flag Smashers is supposed to be a Captain America villain. He's only one person. It isn't like a group. So because this has been turned into like more of a gang or something. So apparently, the Flag Smashers are supposed to be these. Well, so the Flag Smasher is supposed to be a Captain America villain who has to do with Captain America, obviously, and his goal is to take down world government so that everybody can reunite under one flag. It's kind of dumb and silly, but I don't know though. But it has been turned into an organization, and we know that there are at least three people in it because you can see three people wearing that mask. Now, for some reason, when I saw this shot, I always thought that this was Rhodey, but I don't think it's Rhodey. But anyway, because War Machine's in the military, so you gotta understand that. So when I saw this guy, I thought he must be Rhodey. Anyway, but they're probably at some sort of military ceremony where it could be possible that that like Captain America had just like passed away of old age or something. That could be possible, but I don't know though. It could be, but I don't know. And then we see Sam looking at Captain America. Oh, one detail is that Cap is on his left, just like Sam always says, on your left. Anyway, then he's holding the shield. Now, this shield is probably from an alternate timeline because remember, Cap went back in time and he probably lived with Peggy Carter in an alternate timeline. Then he somehow made it back to this one to give the shield to Sam. Anyway, yeah. So this is probably in Sam's like home because we never actually see where Sam lives, like other than like some sort of apartment in Winter Soldier. But yeah, I love this line because I really like this line because you see Sam is saying, "Where do we start?" which is the same thing that he said in Winter Soldier, which was the first movie he was introduced in. So I thought that was pretty. So I have no idea what these guys are, but they probably have something to do with the first episode, especially with the airplane. Then now we have confirmation that it is coming on March 19th. But now this is probably a Madripoor, report, and there is a picture of Ludwig Van Doe, but yeah, I don't know. Uh, then it looks like there's a fight scene here, so I'm not gonna go over the shot because I did that in my last. Now this I want to go over a lot. So Sharon Carter points a gun at them for some reason, which I was confused because I thought all of them were on good terms. So Sharon puts one of them into the wall, hits them, then she throws it that way, and then she jumps and knees that guy. That makes sense, but there's one issue with that. You see, when you're always throwing a knee is fine, but what's the only issue? Uh, Knees are fine, but the only issue with a knee is that one issue when you're doing is when you have a knee is that knees are used for close quarters. Like if someone tries to get close, you can grab them, then you can knee them. Because I do martial arts, so I know this side of thing. Then but it looks really cool. Like you see that a lot of movies. People always jump and knee people, but it's not really that accurate, and like it doesn't really work that well. But it was good though. Then the way how Sam kicks that guy in the trailer, that's supposed to be what he does to Iron Man in Civil War, but yeah. Now this is probably at some sort of football game, or a soccer game, honestly. I think it's a football game because we're in the US, so and then now that is John Walker. This is John Walker. This is not Steve Rogers, and this is not Sam Wilson. So you see, John Walker is supposed to be like the more evil Captain America. Well, he's not evil, but like he has some. He's like way different than Captain America. Like I said earlier, he's like more quick to kill somebody than like I don't know, Cap himself. But yeah, he's like way more easy to kill, and he has like no problem with following orders. So and now we see more of this fight scene in the bar. And by the way, right here, it looks like these skeletons. Um, I think that they're apes, but they actually look more closer to Skrulls, but I'm not sure though. And then now the reason why I think this is first episode is because this seems to appear early on because this has like no other significance in the story so far. But the Madripoor part of this show is probably gonna have something to do with that. So I like how Falcon uses his wings as a shield, and then they have to run away. This is probably also in Madripoor. Just notice how dark it is. This is probably in a fight scene in some sort of facility, but I'm not sure though. But obviously though, this shot of not this shot. This shot is probably later on in the season because Sam is able to throw the shield really easily. Because as we know, he can't. He's still practicing how to throw it in the first episode. Now, this is a one thing I want to talk about. Notice how the doors of this truck are open. They're probably trying to hijack some sort of cargo, and there's a lot of people on that ship. Like you have the Flag Smashers, Bucky and Sam and so you have Bucky and Sam, and then I think there's someone else actually. I need to look at that other shot. So you see Bucky getting wailed on right here, and then I don't know who these people are, but they're probably part of the Flag Smasher group. So I think and one of them smashes them. So yeah, and then we got this funny moment where like and then a car's about to hit Bucky, so now he has to go under. So he has to go under, and then we get the end of the trailer. Then there's this last part. So this part I really want to talk about. It's a funny moment, but there is one detail we should always point out though. See, that wasn't so hard. So she basically says, "See, that wasn't so hard," and then you hear the song, "Are you ready?" Whatever. So yeah, so she's like, just blink, and then so notice how Sam doesn't blinks, or she actually turns to look at the therapist, or I don't, I'm just gonna call her that, and then Bucky stares straight because you see Bucky was a winner because Bucky was probably trained to like never blink or ever flinch at all. So that's probably like part of the because during like the after he got captured by Hydra, and then also and then she also says, "How old are you?" She says, "How old are you?" See so the reason why Bucky, the reason why he's like, the reason why he says that is because the reason why he pretty much says that is because Bucky actually has no clue how old he actually is. Because here's why. So Bucky was probably born a few years before Steve Rogers. Because you see, obviously Bucky's older than him, and then but then what happened is they were like then after that Bucky got captured, so then he pretty much forgot his age because remember his mind was pretty much wiped. So he had like no memories left. So after that happened, pretty much he's so pretty much right after that, pretty much right after that after he was frozen, he can't remember his age, but I think he was probably around 50 or 60. And then because remember Bucky was like only used throughout like the rest of the 21st of the 20th century just to like I don't know like assassinate people. One of those people is Howard Stark and Maria Stark. But yeah, yeah. Uh so yeah, and then after that he is saved by Steve. Then after that he gets blipped away for 5 years. So I'd say he was probably around 100 years old. And then I'd say right now he's probably around 101 or 102 because Bucky was probably born around 1920 or like maybe or not even 1920 like maybe even 1910 or something because uh because he and Steve would have had to be old enough if they were going to be in World War II. So obviously, but yeah. So that is the end of the trailer. I will be doing episode videos and breakdowns for that. I have one theory on why Zemo is out of prison. If you want me to, I will say that right now. But yeah, so I think that the reason why Zemo is out of prison is probably because of the fact that it's probably because of the blip. You know why I think that though? The reason why I think it's probably because of the blip is here's why. So remember, so you have to remember, right? WandaVision episode 4, everyone came back from a blip, and it was complete chaos. And that was just in a hospital. And I think that there was even one shot where somebody was standing in a bed, and then somebody got undusted right next to them. So that would have been chaotic. So imagine what would have happened if that happened in a prison. Now, if that happened in a prison and like Zemo was in like a very real prison, I'm assuming that Zemo didn't get dusted, but I'm assuming that he didn't and that he had to live for 5 years. I'm assuming that he did not get dusted, but I do think for sure that I do think that he was not adjusted and he had to survive through the 5 years before the Avengers snapped him back to life, and before they snapped everybody else back to life. So I think what actually happened is that he was in a prison with like regular inmates or whatever, and then apparently all the people got undusted back. And by the way, it could be possible that also Zemo escaped and when everybody got dusted, because if half of everybody got dusted, then you know what that also means? Cops and guards could have gotten dusted too. And also, as we know, Zemo's hand-to-hand combat skills are pretty decent. So he could probably get through at least a few security guards before that. So I think that the blip has something to do with his escape. Because remember, in episode 4 of WandaVision, Monica Rambeau gets snapped back and it's complete chaos. Like everyone's and it's like everything's in chaos. So imagine what happened if like twice the amount of inmates snapped back, and then there were no prisoners, and yeah, so obviously they wouldn't even be able to. Also, remember there was also one line from episode 4, in the same episode that also kind of points this out even more. So director Hayward of Sword, that he tells to Monica that half of my astronauts got blipped and the other half had lost their nerve. So it is possible that like some of that could be happening in that prison where some of the security guards have kind of lost their nerve because of the inmates have going crazy now, and then they all get blipped and then they get blipped back. But yeah, but I think that's how he escapes. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But I am doing episode videos, so yeah. But that's all for now. Click here to see the trailer breakdown, and click here to see my WandaVision episode 5 breakdown. And that is all, and I will see you in the next video.